she wanted me to do was execute the writ of eviction immediately, today, and have the sheriff come put you out tomorrow. You have to pay the rent or...
Today's courtroom clash is more than just a fight over unpaid rent. It's a collision of broken commitments, simmering tension, and a tenant testing the limits of mercy. On one side stands Hatfield Investments, the landlord, demanding over $7,000 and insisting patience has run its course. On the other, Wanda Lewis pledges she can pay $1,000 a week now that she's supposedly on steady footing. But the judge isn't buying promises he's heard too many times before. With Keystone payments falling short, tax refunds stuck in limbo, and a trail of missed deadlines, this hearing will decide whether Wanda finally makes good, or if the sheriff comes calling. Get ready. Things are about to explode.
Good, then. So having heard all that, Miss Brandau, what's your thoughts?
I would think that my client would want to see proof of Miss Lewis's employment and proof of what she is making before he would make a decision on that. He may be willing to work with her, but again, we would need some paperwork to show because so far he has not received.
Do you want me to enter the writ of eviction, or are you willing to have me reset this?
I think our preference would be to have the writ of eviction available, Your Honor, but if we need to reset it, we could work with that as well.
Well, I could enter the writ. You're entitled to it, but if she's going to do this, I agree. Now, one of the problems is once you file the action, then you get in trouble if you accept partial payment. But I will allow the defendant to make any payment without precluding the plaintiff's ability to proceed. This isn't a termination of tenancy, it's a non-payment of rent case. But perhaps it will be safest to see whether she puts up or not.
Is there any way you, I, and Mr. Hatfield can have a meeting?
Can have what?
A meeting. I'm speaking to the lawyer.
I will
Well, I don't
certainly.
think he wants to have a meeting with you. I think he wants to do this through his attorney, but that's up to him.
Through his attorney, or he's also requested that in the past he's also requested that communication go written only, and the reason for that was that they were having communication problems when everything was being done verbally, and that was why he did not respond.
Well, and again, that's not true.
I do have text messages to that effect in writing that my client has sent me, that he sent to you.
Yes, we have the same messages.
I'm going to continue this for 10 days. Continue request for stay of writ to May 15th, 2023 at 1:15 to see whether he's agreeable to continue this. If not, they're entitled to the writ. You want him to work out some deal with you, but he doesn't have to. He can say, I've had such a bad history with this client, I don't want to get another $800 and another $800 behind. I want to just get her out of there and get another tenant in there. So you could show some good faith. We've been going at this for months, and so far no money has been tendered for payment.
No,
so you're saying
it was hard to find a job, but I am employed now.
All right. Well, you told me back. You told me a month ago. When did you start at Ox?
Monday.
Last Monday?
No, I did orientation and all that, which we get paid for, but my actual start date is going to be Monday. I've been in there back and forth this week doing orientation that we get paid for, etc. But my actual...
You told me that back on March 24th.
No, on March 24th, I never told you Ox because I was supposed to go to...
No, yes, you did. I wrote it down and we can watch it. You told me you were the same thing. You were going through orientation. You were going to start on Monday. That's what you told me on March.
At Ox Paper Mill? I just did a...
Yeah. You had temporary at Pfizer and you were going to start at Ox.
Oh, yes, the one in White Pigeon, but they did not call me back. But the one in Constantine, I've done my orientation and drug testing after my surgery, and that I definitely start there Monday.
Well, I have some reservations as well, Miss Brandau. If this isn't going to work, Miss Lewis, I'm inclined to enter the writ of eviction on the 15th of March.
I don't have a problem with paying them $1,000 a week.
Well, they may not want $1,000 a week. They want $7,000. They want it all at once. They don't want to wait 8 weeks or 10 weeks to get paid. They don't trust you. And you told me in March that you started on Monday at Ox Paperboard, and here we are 32 days
yes,
later.
The one in White Pigeon. Yes, the one in White Pigeon did tell me that I would have a position out there.
You told me you had gone through orientation and you were going to start on Monday, which is the exact same thing you just told me just now.
I don't. At Paper Mill?
That's what I wrote. All right.
No.
All right, I guess it's time to put up or prepare to move out. She can discuss this with her client, but we're already lopping over into the next month, so I'm costing him another $800. What she wanted me to do was execute the writ of eviction immediately, today, and have the sheriff come put you out tomorrow. You have to pay the rent or move, and you want a payment plan, but he hasn't agreed to give you one. And you wrote a treatise of a letter, but that's really what it boils down to. You either need to pay the rent or move. Keystone was going to pay. You were going to get your tax return. You were going to get a job at Ox. The check's in the mail. I only had 2 beers. He doesn't believe your representations because they haven't been borne out in the past.
I've never said check in the mail if there's not a check in the mail.
Oh, that's just a figure of speech. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. Miss Brandau, he probably won't be very happy about this, but let's see where we are in 10 days. And plus, he has to pay his lawyer every time to be here. You show up for free, he's got to pay her to come represent his interest. And so it's costing him legal fees and additional rent. So you should have prepared to tender a large sum of money by May 15th, or he may just request the writ. All right, we'll kick the
Your Honor,
can
I have the date again for the continuation?
May 15th at 1:15.
Great, thank you. I do just want to make you aware as well, I am actually expecting a baby on May 19th.
Oh.
So if anything is to happen in that time frame, I will have an attorney substitute for me.
All right, well, best of luck. All right, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Here's the pivot point. Wanda claims she's pulling in over $2,200 a week, more than enough to meet the $1,000 payment she's offering. But the landlord's attorney isn't convinced without solid proof, and honestly, that's reasonable. In eviction cases, promises alone don't hold weight. Only documented evidence counts. The judge gives her a narrow window to prove she's serious, while cautioning that partial payments can muddy the eviction process. Right here, it's a high-stakes crossroads. Either Wanda backs her words with cash and documentation, or the door swings open for the sheriff. If you were the landlord, would you take the chance on a payment plan or cut your losses?
I'm at Ox Paper Mill.
All right, well, let me slow down for a minute and say call the case. This is file 23130LT. It's entitled Hatfield Investments LLC versus Wanda Lewis. Attorney Jessica Brandau is here. She's been here on multiple hearings in this matter. Also standing by is Meg Bauer from Legal Aid. This case has quite a lot of history. On March 24th, we were here the first time. The defendant's arrearage was substantial. She owed $5,200 through April. Rent was $800 a month. And then, through March. We added April's rent, which made it $6,000 plus court cost $6,424 is what it would have cost through April. So she indicated that Keystone was going to help pay part of it. She had a new job at Ox Paperboard. So we continued the matter until March 31st. We made the same finding we did on March 31st, that the amount of rent was $6,000. There was $175 of late fees, and Keystone was going to pay a portion of it. That did not happen. The rent was not paid. Plaintiff requested a writ of eviction, and that is sitting here. It was filed April 13th, so now it's April 28th. 15 more days have passed because I was on vacation. You wrote me a long letter that I had a lot of trouble reading, but the bottom line is you haven't paid the rent and they still want you to move, and they've asked me to file a writ of eviction. Miss Brandow, you have anything you wish to add? Were you able to read her letter?
I did read what I could understand of it, Your Honor. I have spoken to my client as well, and just here to see, how we can proceed and how we can help Miss Wanda with her concerns.
All right. Well, she keeps saying he won't talk to me, but he doesn't have to talk to her. He was doing this through you. I would put the three of you in a breakout room, but somebody's in the breakout room. So is your client willing to work with Miss Lewis?
Only to a certain extent, Your Honor. The arrearages here, like you said, are substantial. I don't see how she is going to be able to get caught up anytime soon, especially with the additional rent being added. Additionally, there are some electric bills that are unpaid that my client is having to deal with.
No,
And
those are paid. It's paid.
so
That
my
is
client,
paid.
okay.
All right. Don't. We'll let you speak.
Okay, sorry.
So
All right. Well,
at
do you have
this point,
$6,500 laying under your mattress?
No, but as I stated, I tried to call Mr. Hatfield and the attorney several times, but no one's answered me. And I was trying to call him to tell him that I do make a decent amount.
All right. Okay. Well, we understand that. The problem is he doesn't want to work with you for the next 10 months to get his rent not paid.
It would take me approximately,
a writ of eviction.
because I had told Mr. Hatfield when I got my taxes, I would pay everything up. Unfortunately, my taxes were messed up, and so I had to do an amendment, and my taxes at that time was $10,542. So I had no problem paying everything up until I started working. But however, I have no problem with at least paying Mr. Hatfield $1,000 a week.
Miss Brandow.
And I still told him when taxes when they do come, I would also pay him.
I did read what I could understand of it, Your Honor.
When it comes, but unfortunately, I had to go to the IRS to identify and have them amended as well, because the person that did them really screwed them up. So I had to go to H&R Block and have H&R Block amend them. And I have a few more weeks before they come, but I have no problem with at least paying Mr. Hatfield $1,000 a week and catch it up. And after that, pay him.
Well, $1,000 a week is a substantial payment.
Well,
they don't have to. They have 56 days to ask for the writ of eviction, and then they have an additional 56 days before they serve it. So that gives them quite a bit of wiggle room. They have requested a writ of eviction, but I have not signed it. Ms. Brandow, what's your thoughts after having heard what Ms. Lewis said?
Your Honor, I would have to check with my client as far as whether he is willing to rely on Ms. Wanda's representation on what she can pay per week. I would have to check with him on that because I know that he has tried to work with her in the past and had not been given the money that Ms. Wanda has indicated.
Are you in the house now, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, Judge.
Well, it looked like it was a mess. It looked like there was all terrible disarray.
My house?
Yes.
Oh no, this is the porch. There's nothing dirty about the porch. It's just kids' toys. I keep this house anytime anybody ever comes here.
When you were in the garage or something, is maybe
No,
when all
this
the
is
crash
the porch.
and banging going on.
I don't have a garage. This is the porch. And there's nothing, it is nowhere near dirty, a mess at all.
Well,
I don't live
to some
there.
extent, when we have the hearing, we had 2 hearings,
Yes.
and then I made a ruling, and then you wanted to talk to him, and he's like, I don't want to talk to her anymore. I had 2 court hearings, pay the money or move. So you wrote this long letter, and I set this hearing, and Ms. Brandow did talk to Mr. Hatfield, but you're gonna be more than $7,000 behind on your rent. And,
Yes, and that would take me
we had in
about
May's rent. You said Keystone was gonna pay some. What happened to that?
Well, Keystone sent a letter stating that what they were going to pay. They didn't tell me that I had to pay the rest before, so I had called like 211 to help out, but they nowhere had any funding. So after I couldn't come up with the other amount that was on the letter, then Keystone said that once I start paying on it, then they can help with and it was $1,000. But once I start paying on it, then they could pay that because that's all they paid up to was $1,000.
How are you gonna afford $1,000 a week?
Judge Middleton, I gross over $2,200 a week.
Here's how it ends up. Wanda has 10 days to prove she can make good on her payments, or eviction becomes inevitable. The judge's skepticism is clear, given the trail of missed deadlines and shifting stories, while the landlord has grown exhausted from months of delays and lost rent, with Keystone's assistance now off the table. This isn't just one tenant story. It's a stark reminder of how quickly landlord-tenant disputes can spiral when trust evaporates. If this case had you on the edge of your seat, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you have given Wanda one last shot? And subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns you won't want to miss.